Are you serious? Are you serious, folks? I'm going to show you a swarm of locusts flying over top of Egypt. It happened yesterday when John Kerry, the Secretary of State of America, arrived in Cairo, met with Mohammed Morsi, and gave him $450 million after Obama's already given him 20 F-16 fighter jets and 200 brand new Abrams tanks. Even though Mohammed Morsi's declared a holy jihad on Jerusalem, John F. Kerry arrived in Cairo and met with Mohammed Morsi. He's the 12th pharaoh of Egypt, if you ask me. He's definitely the fierce king, the cruel Lord in Isaiah 19:1. But then the locusts came. And there's locusts all the way from Cairo, Egypt to the Red Sea, folks. That's 200 kilometers. Are you serious? Let me show you this footage. The Bible said, and the Lord said unto Moses in Exodus 10, verse 12, and the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, that they might come upon the land of Egypt and eat every herb of the land, even all that the hail hath left. What? Are you serious? Watch this. Listen to this. You got to be serious. What? You hear the locusts. You can hear the locusts. What? And the Lord said to Moses, stretch out thy hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, that they may come up on the land of Egypt and eat every herb of the land, even all that the hail hath left. Something biblical is going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. I want to thank Mike Childers for getting this footage to me. Look at this! Hail in Egypt. What? Apocalyptic signs.
Good evening and welcome to RWR. This is Callie with your explosion update. It's March 4th, 2013. One person has been injured following a chemical facility explosion and fire at the LaPorte Deer Park area. Multiple fire departments responded to the area at AKZO Noble Chemicals Incorporated facility on Independence Parkway after 1 p.m. today. A spokesman for the company said that it was a level 3 plant explosion that caused the fire. A massive explosion and fire at Alder Hot Oil in Jensen, Utah, near Split Mountain Travel Center, leveled at least one building and was felt at least as far away as Messer Saturday. The explosion in Ashley Valley Industrial Park destroyed one building and damaged 8 others. There were no reports of anyone hurt or killed by the explosion, but the large blast shook much of the basin and flooded central dispatch centers with calls from residents. It occurred around 12:13 a.m. And the people in the cities of Vernal, Naples, and Jensen's all felt the blast. On social media, people far east as Dinosaur, Colorado, and as far west as Pelican Lake reported feeling the explosion. Investigators are working to determine if a natural gas leak caused a home in the 1600 block of Roxbury Drive in Xenia, Ohio, to explode this morning. Flames engulfed the house around 8 a.m. and a plume of smoke was visible from miles away. The homeowner was in the backyard at the time and he suffered burns and was taken to the Green Memorial Hospital. Authorities are investigating whether an explosion caused a fast-spreading house fire in Lafayette, Tennessee that killed 3 seniors and a neighbor who tried to save them. It happened Sunday night just outside the city limits of Lafayette, a close-knit rural community about 55 miles northeast of Nashville. All were overcome by smoke inhalation. More than 20 workers have been injured in a gas explosion in an underground shopping street in northeast China's Shenyang City. Eyewitnesses say the explosion at around 9 a.m. this morning was triggered by a gas leak at a construction site in the underground shopping street in front of a mall. They heard 3 huge bangs and felt strong shaking of the ground. After the explosion, thick smoke and the smell of gas starting oozing out of the underpass. The agencies say that the investigations are underway and there have been reports of casualties. Carelessness may be to blame for injuries to several people during the disposal of explosives in the Kwakwani compound of the BCGI Saturday afternoon in Guyana. The death toll in the explosion at a fireworks manufacturing unit in southern India on Sunday has risen to 7. The owner of the factory has been taken into custody, and police have seized a huge amount of explosives that was sifted out of the house of Mohammed. A Jeep was seized and its driver was arrested in connection with the explosion. According to reports, at approximately 3:45 p.m. on Saturday evening, an English starling flew into the wiring around an Edison transformer on Castillo Street, causing it to explode and short out. Sadly, the starling didn't survive. And last this evening, Las Vegas police said it took about 2 hours to clear up a traffic mess caused by an electrical transformer explosion behind the Monte Carlo casino. The blast and resulting fire created a cloud of smoke that shut down the northbound lanes of Interstate 15. There were no injuries reported, and Monte Carlo guests had to be evacuated. The cause of the explosion was unknown. Everyone, stay safe and have a great evening.
March the 4th, 2013. Looking at an image taken by Paul Schofield today. Yas, down in Australia. This is Pan stars. Now guys, it appears to me that the comet is starting to split up and disintegrate. Let me pull this up. Now, it's starting to grain out at this point, but it definitely looks like you have 2 main sections. Let's look at a couple other images. Now, this is out of Dunedin, New Zealand, taken yesterday. You also, it looks like it has the appearance of disintegrating. Now, it's gotten brighter as it gotten closer to the sun. We know that in around March the 14th is when it should rise back through the ecliptic and be visible in the northern hemisphere. These guys can see it with the naked eye down under in this southern hemisphere of the earth now. I want to pull this image up also. Now again, it looks like it has started to split here and here. And we don't know what that's going to do with the path. We can look at the JPL models of the original path. Now, this could change it somewhat, and let's look at what may be effective. This is not a sun diver that we've got to worry about that at this point. Not unlike Lovejoy. These are coming up in the inner solar system, but they're not sun divers. But let's just take a look at the JPL and see what we can find. Now, this is part of the JPL program. Guys, you've seen it. This is C20L4. If you type it into your JPL model, Pan stars, Comet Lemon, and ISUN are all linked on the website. You click there and it'll automatically bring you here. You don't have to type in anything. You notice today's date, March the 4th. C2011L4 Pan stars is below the ecliptic. This is the ecliptic with the inner solar system planets. They're not all exactly on it. Venus and Mars, they have different angles, but it's below all of them. That's why they're able to see it in the southern hemisphere. We're getting these pictures out of Australia and New Zealand. Pull that down. I want to pull it around to where Earth is here. The sun is there. Let's tilt it back. Pan stars is below us. Now, notice when it rises, it's going to be right in the orbital path of Mercury. Not on Mercury, but right there. That's how far. It's not a sun diver like ISUN that's going to dive in here and whip around. It is looping around the sun, but at that distance. Now, what will be interesting here is if it breaks apart, what will be the path? Let's forward it to the date. It's moving fast. Let's come up by days here. Pull it back down, hold on. We're looking at it again below the ecliptic. March 6th, the 7th, the 8th, just right up there. The 12th, it's starting to break the ecliptic at that point. Now, pull this back down. You can see Mercury is not in the path. It's on the other side of the sun. Venus and Mercury are on the opposite sides. So at that point, even if it splits, everything should be in pretty good shape. Now, let's go ahead and advance it. There's the 13th, 14th, well into the northern hemisphere at that point as it rises out. Now whether it disintegrates to where we see nothing or we see two bright comets tailing up through here, so you have to see if we have any more disintegration. But it's a heads up on this. And I'd like to mention, you know, we do the Sinkhole videos, and there's 3 or 4 guys and a few gals out there that try to keep everybody updated, and we have really been asking for help.
Live, this is One for the Record. I'm Diana, and today is March 4th, 2013. And here are your news updates for today. I will be attaching a lot of videos to the front of my report, and I will be attaching the Locust report. And let's see, let's first go to... I just got in real late, so I apologize for that. I actually do other things. So, we're running late today. Alrighty then. The Watchers. Watching the world. Weather modification, avoiding floods by cloud seeding, Indonesia. Also, a newly found asteroid 2013 EC will pass inside the orbit of the moon on March 4th, 2013. And I am attaching a video on that. Okay, moving on. Let's now go to the Extinction Protocol 2012 and beyond. As I'm doing this, I'm uploading some pictures for you at the same time, simultaneously. Max, stop. Thank you. Yes, Mommy brought you home a good snack. Wait till I get done with this. Okay. The Extinction Protocol 2012 and beyond. Ice World. Record snowfalls inundate cities across the globe. NASA space probes discover extra belt of radiation around Earth. 2-day notice Earth gets another close graze by newly discovered asteroid on March 4th. Heads up, that was today. Increased activity reported at volcanoes in Ecuador, Italy, and Guatemala. Alrighty then, so that's nothing new. Let's go to the E&E News. There's a lot going on there. Let's get there. But I didn't forget about you guys. I'm getting it up here. Alright. It just takes me a few minutes. Let's see here. Alright, we'll go into Fukushima, Japan as soon as it loads. Here we go. E&E News, Energy News, Fukushima, Japan. Tokyo today, March 4th. Tokyo professor, radionuclides are being released continuously into ocean from Fukushima plant, coming from somewhere around reactor housing. Also today, Yamamuri, 69% of the people surveyed across Japan expressed concern about the impact of radioactive material on their health or that of their families. Also today, Japan radiation expert after 3/11. Don't just leave Tokyo, leave the country if possible. Journalist, I'm losing my words. And there's a video on that, but I don't know where it is right now. We'll try to get that up for you. Here's yesterday. Shocked? Major Japan paper. Cancer risk in Fukushima probably infinitesimal. More radioactive contamination should be allowed in food and where people live. Don't question burning disaster debris. My goodness, what crimes against humanity. Now, there's a lot going on in U.S. Canada. Let's go to that real quick. Okay. U.S. Canada. Obama to pick lead EPA is from Office of Air and Radiation, in charge of troubled Radnet during Fukushima peak. Also today, officials, large release of methane off Los Angeles coast. Unusual concentrations detected by hazmat crews. Gas may be from shift in tectonic plates. Heads up, I told you what's going on in San Francisco. Hey, be prepared for anything. Things must be moving around. That's your hint right there. Let me read it again for you people in California and on the West Coast. Officials, large release of methane off Los Angeles coast. Unusual concentrations detected by hazmat crews. Gas may be from shift in tectonic plates. Also today, TV, Aaron Brockovich headed to giant Louisiana sinkhole. We are in desperate need. Now she's going to go to the town hall meeting. Make sure you find out exactly when she's going to be there, and everyone should show up because she's coming with her lawyer, just like in that movie. She's actually going down there, so find out when your town hall meeting is and get there. Alrighty then. Her and her lawyer's going down there, and I guess they're going to represent the people who lost their homes and didn't get paid by Texas brine and whatever's going on down there. So make sure that if you're in need, you better show up down there at the town hall meeting coming up. Alrighty then. I guess there'll be a movie part 2 now. So, let me get rid of that. I'm uploading pictures for you. Alrighty then. It is one day down. 4 to go before the weekend. Please be safe. Be prepared for anything, especially you in California. Do you have your water, your food, your gold bag? You got water in the car, blankets, maybe some pop-up tents in case you can't stay in your building in case there's a earthquake? Alrighty then, please be prepared. And don't forget about your pets. And I'll see you again tomorrow on the flip side. Stay tuned, I'm attaching videos. Alright, I might just put them on ahead of this. Take care and be safe.
We have to stop sending will get into the water, concentrate in the fish, the milk, the food, human breast milk, fetuses, babies, children. Radioactive iodine causes thyroid cancer. 12,000 people in Belarus have thyroid cancer. Radioactive strontium-90 causes bone cancer, and leukemia lasts for 600 years. Cesium-137 all over Europe now, in the reindeer, in the lambs, in the food, lasts for 600 years, causes brain cancers. Plutonium, the most dangerous substance on earth, 1 milligram causes cancer, lasts for 250,000 years, causes lung cancer, liver cancer, testicular cancer, damages fetuses so they're born deformed. Nuclear power, therefore, with nuclear waste for all future generations, will produce epidemics of cancer in young children because they're very sensitive, genetic disease, congenital deformities. Nuclear power is about disease and it's about death. It will produce the greatest public health hazard the world has ever seen for the rest of time. We must close down every single nuclear reactor in Europe and throughout the world. If we go on and Libya gets a nuclear power plant and Iran and Saudi Arabia and they make bombs, America and Russia have thousands of nuclear weapons facing each other on hair-trigger alert. Take half an hour to go from one to the other. There are 60 hydrogen bombs targeted on Moscow, 14 on New York. One bomb would vaporize all the people in New York. 40 on New York, 60 on Washington, many on Copenhagen. A nuclear war could happen tonight by